Ah, delicious.
Deliciousness abounds.
Nectar of the gods. Cheers, my friend.
And to you, sir.
And to our absent friend.
Yes, toast to her. She is on assignment. So. What's up there, interwebs? Big Lou here, coming at you with Matt the Cutman. As always, we are talking Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. And like this movie or not, there is a lot to talk about.
There are things to discuss.
So let's just delve right in. There is going to be heavy spoilers in this video, so if you have not seen the movie, just add it to your watch later list. Go see the movie, because I do recommend that you see the movie. Come back, and you can participate in the discussion. The discussion is going to go like this. We're going to talk about what we liked about the movie, what we didn't like about the movie. We're going to give our overall thoughts and then score it out of 10. If you're familiar at all with the reviews that we do on this channel, you are no doubt familiar with that process. So,
or any review ever.
Yeah, pretty much. So, Matt, good sir, Batman v Superman. Why don't we start? Tell us some things that you liked about the movie. What worked for you in this movie?
Okay, well, let me just say I was mixed.
Sure.
My thoughts on it were mixed. It wasn't that I thought it was okay or that it was just I had soft. There were parts of it that I absolutely loved, and then there were parts of it that I really didn't.
And I think that is the consensus of pretty much everybody on the internet right now.
Yeah.
So.
But it was not as if though I had no opinion or I have a tepid opinion.
Certainly.
So the things that I really liked, Ben Affleck as Batman.
Absolutely.
Bad motherfucker.
This dude, to me, I'll go ahead and say this. To me, Ben Affleck is the Batman that I've always wanted to see on screen. I think he's the best Batman that we've had, taking nothing away from Christian Bale and from Michael Keaton, who I think are the two, generally considered the two best of the other Batmans that we've had. But Ben Affleck, to me, crushed it in this role. I think that in the other movies, we've had a very strong disconnect between the Bruce Wayne character and the Batman character. And his performance in this, there was no Bruce Wayne character. It was just him.
Yeah.
And that, I think, went a long way for giving depth to the character.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, the guy's like 6'2".
Yeah.
Right? So, big guy. He got jacked for the film.
Huge. This training sequence.
Clearly did some working out.
When he's doing the pull-ups with the frickin' 45-pound weights chained to him, I was like, good God.
Yeah.
So
Ben Affleck as the Batman character and all of the Batman paraphernalia.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love the gadgets, man. It was so really cool to see. I loved this version of the Batcave. Mm-hmm. To me, the entrance to the Batcave in this movie was the coolest entrance to any Batcave we've seen. Yeah. Where the lake parts and the ramp goes down, and that was really, really cool.
But it doesn't part at like the shore of the lake. It parts 20 feet out. The Batmobile has to jump into it. You're not going to stumble upon the entrance. So that was awesome. Other than that, I really... oddly enough, I really like Jesse Eisenberg as Lex. I thought it was a very interesting take on it. Mm-hmm. It kind of brought the role into the 21st century, because if you're going to have a businessman villain, a guy running a giant tech corporation is probably going to look a little more like Jesse Eisenberg than Bryan Cranston, sure, or Kevin Spacey or whatnot. Yeah. He's gonna look like your Zuckerberg.
Sure. I loved the Lex Luthor Jesse Eisenberg character performance is on both my positive and my negative list. I loved his performance. I loved how the villain was interacting with all the people. I loved the behind the scenes stuff that he was doing, the sending the letters to Batman, the kidnapping of Martha Wayne, or Martha Kent. Which Martha is it?
Yeah. Very Machiavellian.
Very, very much so. I hated that his name was Lex Luthor. I wish that this villain had been just a different name, because to me, I want that Bryan Cranston. I want that
Kevin
Spacey type character. Or even I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day, and we were talking about it. He's a huge Lex Luthor fan, almost more so than any other comic book character. And he says that you could even have him be the same way, the same acting, the same dialogue, call him Lex Luthor, but make Jason Statham be saying the lines, and it would put a whole new spin on the character. Because you've got Ben Affleck, who is, like you said, 6'2", beast of a man. You've got Henry Cavill, who is 6'1", beast of a man. And then you've got Lex Luthor, who's back there pulling all the strings. And while I like that, I wish his name hadn't been Lex Luthor. Well. But anyway, so what are you going to do?
Yeah.
So what else on your list of positives, or was that pretty much it?
No. There was one more huge positive. It was probably it would have been my favorite part of the movie had there been more of Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Oh, man.
She total fucking badass.
Yeah.
In this movie. Yeah.
Yeah. I would have enjoyed a whole helping more of her throughout. She stood up to Doomsday.
Yeah.
More so than Superman.
Yeah.
And Batman combined.
Yeah.
So she was really the only one to hold her own against him.
My favorite moment of hers is there's this one section where he takes her and throws her half a mile away, and she lands and fumbles all over and it hits her head on the rock, and she kind of props up and she just gives this wry little come and get me type of smile and just dives right back in.
She's loving it, but she's just like, you just motherfucking pushed me.
Yeah.
Now you're going to get it.
Yeah. It makes me so excited for her standalone movie that they're filming now. Mm-hmm. So I was very concerned of the casting of Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen Gal Gadot do anything worth a fuck in any of the movies that she's
other than
been
the
in.
Fast and...
Even her roles in the Fast and Furious, they were just kind of, very stiff, very wooden. She was not one of the standouts.
Yeah, well, those were the throwaway characters.
And I absolutely... And granted, I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
So going into this, I was very trepidatious about her being the single most iconic female superhero of all time. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think she did a great job. The banter that she had between her and Bruce at the little gala that they were doing, I thought was really, really good. I enjoyed her performances and stuff. So she's sexy as hell.
Oh, good God! There was I went to see it with a friend of mine, and she was telling me later on that there was a kid sitting next to her, and the kid's father was on the other side of them. And the kid's dad leans down and is like, see that? That's Supergirl. And she's like, not going to say anything. And after I heard this, after she told me this later on, and I'm like, yeah, your reaction should have been to lean down, whisper to the kid while making eye contact with the father, hey kid, that's actually Wonder Woman. Your father's a fucking idiot, and you don't have to listen to him anymore. That is the only correct response.
That would have been the correct response, indeed. It bothers me greatly when people think they know what they're talking about, but...
It bothers me greatly when other people are talking, but that's neither here nor there.
We'll drink to that.
So, anyway.
Yeah, but I loved the seeing Chris Pine, too.
Yeah.
Did you catch that at the photo?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's Chris Pine. Very cool.
Captain Kirk.
Yeah, exactly.
Captain Perfect hair.
So, well, I have a couple of more positives. Henry Cavill, to me, is Superman. I think that the progress that we have seen the Kal-El character, the Clark character, go from where we see him in the beginning of Man of Steel through where he, obviously, spoiler, where he dies at the end of Batman v Superman, I think that we got a really good insight into what his character arc has been over the past two movies. A lot more in this movie than in Man of Steel. I think that Henry Cavill did a tremendous job of conveying what he's going through, or what Clark's inner struggle is between the hero that he thinks he's supposed to be, the hero that mankind thinks he is, and the hero that his father expected him to be. And it was great seeing Costner too. I wasn't expecting that little cameo, so that was good.
I agree. I thought Henry Cavill was great. I didn't like the Superman part of this.
There's a lot of people that are given issues, and my biggest problem with the Superman part of this was the dialogue. The dialogue in this movie was laughable at times, especially the stuff between him and Lois Lane.
And I don't get that. David S. Goyer is a brilliant writer.
So is Chris Terrio, who was brought in to assist. So where the fuck up was in the dialogue there, it was like I was watching a frickin' CW show. Yeah. Well, not even that, because CW
there's some good writing on this.
It's like a VH1 show, put it that way. Had it not been for the immense chemistry that Henry Cavill and Amy Adams have together, the lines would not have... It would have stood out even more. But because they have such good chemistry together, it almost worked for me. But it definitely was a standout as far as on the negative side.
Well, Amy Adams could stand on screen and fart for 45 minutes, and she would make it work.
Especially wearing what she was wearing in that bathtub scene. Because...
No, she's a tremendous talent.
I love everything that she does. Speaking of loving everything that they do, frickin' Jeremy Irons. Is he Sir Jeremy Irons?
He ought to be.
He ought to be. If he's not...
Knight that man.
He is in our book. We salute you, Sir Jeremy. The chemistry between Ben Affleck and Jeremy Irons, between Bruce and Alfred, was some of the best chemistry between a Bruce and Alfred pairing that we've seen in any movie.
The only time I laughed in that movie was when Alfred was saying something.
There were a couple of things that Perry White said that made me chuckle as well, but the scene where he's cleaning up after Bruce's night of debauchery, and he says, I wonder if future generations of Waynes will have any wine left to inherit, provided there are any future generations of Waynes. I mean, so it was just that snarky British old guy. You know, I love the line that he says where he says, Master Wayne, from the age of 9, you have had an insane ability for deception, but you've never been particularly good at lying to me. I think that speaks volumes about their history together. Well, that's all the stuff that I had that really stood out as far as stuff that I really, really liked. I mean, obviously, all the action was awesome. The actual fight between Batman and Superman, to me, was exactly what I was anticipating. I love seeing the... you haven't seen or read the Dark Knight Returns graphic novel, but there's a part in there when he, shoots it's an arrow shot at him by the Green Arrow, but it's, and Superman turns and catches it like, really? What the hell? And then it explodes the gas in his face. So that was right out of the graphic novel, which was really cool.
Okay, see, I thought they were just ripping off the Avengers.
With what? With him catching it?
Yeah, with him catching it and then it like exploding.
Oh no! That's the Avengers were ripping off Dark Knight Returns. No, that's right out of the graphic novel with the kryptonite gas and stuff. So I liked a lot of the elements they had from Dark Knight Returns. I think that there were a lot of elements that they forced in there from the Dark Knight Returns that didn't need to be in there, like when he gets nuked at the end, and he's drifting in space, a hollow, frail shell, and the sun kind of revitalizes him. That's right out of the graphic novel. I mean, that's almost shot for shot with him sitting there, except he's laying on a rock in the aftermath of the explosion. But the effects that they had on him were almost as if Frank Miller had drawn them himself.
Well, that's Zack Snyder is known for doing that.
Absolutely.
The Watchmen.
Yeah.
There's that one scene that just really struck me in The Watchmen where Rorschach opens the door and it's you see him like in the background and there's lights flooding in and it's raining outside.
Yeah.
It's always raining outside.
Of course.
But so yeah, that's a Zack Snyder.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
That is to Zack Snyder as lens flares are to J.J. Abrams. If you'll mind the analogy.
Yeah, hey, no, that's a well-earned analogy. I also think that there was some stuff in this movie that could have been trimmed back a little bit. Some of the dream sequences, I think, could have been either omitted completely or modified, like the dream sequence when he's going to his parents' grave and the giant bat busts through, and the dream sequence at the beginning where he's flying and the bats are lifting him up. It was very out of place.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what was going on there.
Yeah, exactly. They almost lost me right off the bat when he started flying. I'm like, the bats don't make him fly. What the fuck am I? What? And then he said, in the dream, they take me towards. Okay, all right, game on. Yeah. Let's see what else you got. So, but, I think, and we hinted at this a moment ago, but the movie is definitely style over substance, and visually it's spectacular. It's a beautiful movie to watch.
I had some problems with the fight scene at the very end.
With the one with Doomsday?
Yeah.
It's like what?
So I wasn't really sure what was going on when he was emitting those shock waves. Like, okay, is that an EMP? Our buildings are going to be falling down. What is happening? It was just a little over the top for me.
I definitely agree with that because none of that ability was anything Doomsday had in the comics.
Yeah.
He was just big and strong and unkillable. It wasn't that, oh, hey, let me, shoot laser beams out of my eyes. He didn't have the heat vision like Clark has, as Superman. So.
Yeah, I was when that happened. I'm like, okay, well then he's just destroyed 12 city blocks.
Yeah, which conveniently were abandoned that time of night. There was a lot of convenient lack of people. Yeah. In this movie. Oh, thank God it's after work hours. Otherwise, there'd be a lot more people here. It's like, oh, why'd you bring it back to the... Oh, the port's abandoned. Okay, yeah, well, isn't that convenient for having a giant superhero brawl? But the other big thing that I had a negative on was the inconsistent flip of motivations. So, like, all through the movie, Clark is, we got to stop the Batman, we got to stop the Batman, we got to stop the Batman. And I didn't have a problem with his motivation flip as far as, oh, he's got my mom, I got to go get Bruce to help me. Mm-hmm. But he lands and said, Bruce, we need to talk. How long has he known he was Bruce? How long did he know? And
did he say Bruce?
He said Bruce. That's what I thought too, but I've seen it, you and I have both now seen it twice. Mm. And yeah, when he landed and said, Bruce, we need to talk, he calls him Bruce, not Batman, not whatever. But, so he knew.
He could see through that cowl.
I agree he could see through that cowl. But we've also had him trying to do the investigation part as far as, we got to report on the Batman, we got to report on the Batman, we got to report on the Batman. If you knew who he fucking was, you're Superman, go fucking stop him. Yeah. So I had issues with that. But what else do I have on my little list here? The stuff with Lex Luthor, it was one of those, how long did he know that, how did he figure out that Bruce Wayne was Batman? Mm-hmm. How did Lex know everything? Yeah. Lex knew everything.
Well, they could have disclosed it, but he probably hacked their email and phones and all of that.
More than likely, and I get that. Yeah. But I think that it would have given a little bit more depth to the character to kind of show how he knew some of that. Now, we're recording this on Tuesday night after the movie. The movie's been out for almost a week. They have already released deleted scenes for this movie, and we've heard for a month before the movie came out that the director's cut of this is going to be an extra 30 minutes long
and R-rated.
And R-rated. So with that knowledge, do you think that a lot of these story issues and editing issues that people are talking about will be corrected in the director's cut, or do you think it's too little too late?
I think if you cannot get that corrected in 2.5 hours of a superhero movie, then you're doing something wrong.
I absolutely agree with that. I think that there may be a little bit more exposition as far as in the deleted scenes and stuff like that, but I still think that if the script has issues, the script has issues, and there are issues aplenty throughout this entire script. So,
and that's disappointing given who's responsible for it.
I absolutely agree with that too, and it makes me nervous for Justice League too, because we've still got Chris Terrio is writing it, and Zack Snyder is still directing it. So I'm still very much looking forward to Justice League. Seeing the little flashes of the other Justice League members in this movie, I thought were really cool. The little Injustice Gods Among Us. You didn't play that game though, did you? Anyway, there was a comic series and a video game that kind of touched on the Flash coming back from the future and stuff like that. So he was, I liked seeing. I can't even think of the guy's name that's playing the Flash.
No idea.
Ezra Miller coming back saying, "Am I too soon? I'm too soon." Okay. So that was a little funny to me, but it definitely was lacking. It was not as good as I was wanting it to be, but it was still to me very entertaining.
And when I was saying earlier, was the only time that I was laughing was when Alfred was talking, and as you pointed out, when Perry was talking.
Yeah.
And that was very few and far between.
Yeah.
It lacked. I mean, I know it's supposed to be a darker movie, but it lacked humor. You could have a dark movie and still have a good deal of humor in it.
I agree.
I think that goes along with DC's policy of, we don't want to make funny movies.
It almost seems like they're going out of their way to make a completely different tone of a movie than the Marvel movies, than the MCU. But it's like you said, you could still be dark and brooding and have a dark tone of your movie, and still have some lighthearted moments in it. And DC, we know DC can do it because look at Arrow, look at the Flash.
Yeah.
They're Supergirl even. So Supergirl's a completely different story. It's like a live-action cartoon almost, but.
Well, I think you can be humorous without being lighthearted necessarily.
Yeah, it's very true as well. So it's all based on the writing. So, all right, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up here. We've been running our mouths a little bit. Score out of 10. What do you give this movie?
I give it a 5.5.
5.5, really? That low? Okay.
Yeah.
I had a lot more fun with this. The action to me was a lot. Bolstered this movie a lot as far as seeing the ninja type Batman that I'm so used to from the comics and video games and stuff. I gave this movie an 8 out of 10. I think that the story elements were very lacking, but I still had a lot of fun with it, and it's going to be one of those that I'm really looking forward to watching almost frame by frame when it comes out on home video and stuff.
Yeah.
So a lot of the critic ratings on Rotten Tomatoes are very similar to yourself. The last time I checked, it was like a 29% critic rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and the fan rating was, I think, at like 78, 79. Okay. So it's a huge disconnect between the critic rating and the fan rating, and I think that goes a long way for how much fun people are having with this movie and able to overlook the blaring story elements in it. But so, any final thoughts? Anything else?
I could, if someone just wants to cut together for me, InterWebs, make this happen.
Yes.
Just the fight of Batman and Superman, the fight of Batman going in to save Martha.
That was awesome.
Right?
Holy crap!
That was my favorite part of the entire movie.
Yeah.
That movie made me wish it was just a Batman movie.
Which makes me a whole hell of a lot more excited for it. Not that I wasn't less excited, but the fact that Ben Affleck and Chris Terrio and his whole crew are writing, directing, and starring in the Batman that's coming out.
Yeah. you can have my money now.
Yeah, exactly. Can I buy my tickets? The coolest part about that scene is I'm a big fan of the Batman Arkham video games, the Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Origins, Arkham Knight. A lot of the stuff that he does in that scene are moves that you could do in the game.
I've heard that.
So cool, like where he shoots the grapple gun at the guy, pulls him, and like clotheslines him, and he uses his grapple gun to throw the box into the other guy. It's a lot of the combos and stuff are right out of that video game, which was really cool to see on the big screen.
That for me was my favorite scene in the movie.
Yeah, rightfully so. It is arguably one of the best scenes in the movie.
Yeah.
So. But anyway,
visually, action-wise, everything.
Absolutely. I'm a friend of your son's. I kind of figured that part made me laugh.
There you go. See that?
Diane Lane.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
No, you can't.
But anyway, folks, that's going to do it for our spoiler-filled review here of Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Go ahead and give us a thumbs up, like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, write to us on Twitter, just at the InterWebs. You can see my non-spoiler version of this, although why you'd want to watch that after watching the spoiler is beyond me, but you can click the link right here and be taken to that. Share this video amongst your friends.
And if you don't, we will know about it.
Oh, we will. I have very, very little to do except sit there and watch YouTube.
Very little to do.
That's kind of sad, actually, now I think about it. But anyway, let us know what your thoughts are on Batman v Superman. Did you like the movie? Did you not like the movie? Can this movie go fuck itself? And we'll see you on the interwebs.
Bye, Mom.